twists, and truths. The secret plan to seduce my sister Thunder rolled over the city the night before the wedding. Rachel stood alone in the rain outside the banquet hall, clutching her phone tightly against her chest. Through the glass, she could see laughter, warmth, and Sophie twirling in her white dress beneath crystal chandeliers. Rachel's voice trembled in her mind. Everyone says love makes us do foolish things, but they never talk about how far guilt will make us go. Darkness swallowed the scene. 48 hours earlier, the family dinner glowed with warmth, candlelight, soft chatter, and the clinking of silverware. Sophie radiated happiness, glowing brighter than the candles around her. Rachel watched quietly, forcing a smile. Sophie lifted her glass. And right in the middle of the cafe, Ethan got down on one knee. Applause broke through the room. Phones flashed. People cheered. Rachel clapped too, but her smile was just a little too tight. Inside her mind, the truth whispered. 15 minutes of fame for her. 15 years of invisibility for me. I should be happy. But something about Ethan doesn't fit. Like a painting that's beautiful until you notice the cracks. And then she caught it. Ethan watching her from across the table instead of Sophie a beat too long. His eyes slid away only when she blinked. That night, Rachel stared at the ceiling while rain tapped against her window like insistent fingers. Maybe it's nothing, she told herself. Or maybe it's the beginning of everything I'll regret. The next afternoon, she sat in her therapist's quiet office, hands clasped in her lap. Dr. Moore scribbled something onto a yellow notepad before speaking. You mentioned Sophie a lot, her happiness, her choices. What about yours? Rachel swallowed hard. I don't really think about me. Dr. Moore leaned forward. You should. Obsession wears the mask of protection. The words hit her deeper than she expected. Outside, thunder rumbled again. When Rachel looked into the window, she saw her reflection, but for a moment it overlapped with Sophie's. Later, the testing began. Texts, coffee meetups, lingering glances. Ethan's charm dripped like honey, sweet, slow, dangerous. And Rachel kept tasting it, even though guilt burned her throat. His compliments felt too intimate, too intentional. He made compliments sound like confessions, Rachel thought. I kept telling myself I was protecting her, but every time he looked at me, the line blurred a little more. At a small cafe, Ethan slid his phone across the table, a picture of Sophie laughing. She trusts people too easily, he said quietly. You and I, we see deeper. Rachel looked him straight in the eyes, or darker. Their fingers brushed. Neither of them pulled away quickly enough. Lightning flashed outside the window. Half of Rachel's face lit, half in shadow. One night, Sophie and Rachel sat on the porch beneath the stars. Sophie leaned her head on Rachel's shoulder. Promise you'll like him one day, she whispered. Rachel forced a smile. If he's who you think he is, I'll love him, Sophie sighed softly. He makes me feel seen. Those words cut deep because that was all Rachel ever wanted. To be seen. A moth hit the porch light and burned itself on the bulb. Rachel watched it fall. The next day, a simple rehearsal venue tour turned into private drinks. They wandered through echoing gallery halls, mirrors reflecting their every movement. Ethan handed her a glass of wine. "You worry about Sophie as if she's fragile glass," he murmured. "She breaks easily when she loves hard," Rachel replied. Ethan leaned closer. "And you? Do you break easily?" Silence tightened around them. His reflection touched hers before he did. The kiss was quiet, deliberate, deadly. Rachel pulled away instantly, breathing fast. Ethan only smirked. "You think you're testing me," he whispered. "But maybe I've been testing you." Rachel stumbled out into the storm, sobbing in the rain. In the days that followed, Sophie planned wedding details while Rachel ignored her calls. Ethan's messages grew darker. "You started this. You liked it." Then came the knock at her door. No one there. Just a small USB drive on the welcome mat. Her hand shook as she plugged it in. Audio crackled. Her own voice, Ethan's whisper, the kiss, and then Sophie's voice breaking into sobs. "How could you both?" Rachel screamed until her throat burned. Thunder drowned the sound. "He recorded it," she realized. "Every word, every sin, and sent it to the only person I swore I'd protect." She rushed to Ethan's office building. It was empty. His number disconnected. A news article flashed across her phone screen. "Ethan Vale, investment fraud, suspect flees city." Her breath vanished. He never loved Sophie. He never loved anyone. "I wasn't his temptation," Rachel whispered. "I was his cover." Flashbacks slammed into her. Ethan copying Sophie's signatures, transferring funds, whispering, "Trust me," to both sisters. The night before the wedding, soaked to the bone, Rachel stepped onto the banquet hall stage. Her voice shook, but she spoke anyway. "Before this celebration goes any further, there's truth you need to hear." Gasps spread across the room. Sophie's smile collapsed. "I betrayed you, Soph," Rachel confessed. "I let myself be used. But Ethan, he's been using all of us." She played the audio clip. Ethan bragging about stolen accounts and fake proposals. Chaos exploded. Sophie dropped her bouquet. Rachel fought back tears. "I thought I was protecting you," she said, "but I became the danger." Ethan burst into the hall shouting denials, but red and blue lights flashed outside. Police rushed in. As they handcuffed him, Rachel whispered to herself, "For once, my voice mattered, not to destroy, but to end the lie." Weeks later, at a quiet lake, Sophie sat on the dock, staring at the water. Rachel approached gently. Sophie's voice cracked. "You almost ruined me." Rachel nodded. "I ruined myself." Sophie wiped her eyes. "He fooled us both." Rachel shook her head. "No. I fooled myself. I thought control was love." Silence fell between them, soft as the wind. Then Sophie reached out and placed her hand over Rachel's. "Then let's stop letting him live rent-free in our hearts." Rachel exhaled a long trembling release. Her final thoughts drifted over the lake. Some secrets don't whisper, they scream until you confess them. I wanted to protect Sophie. Instead, I became her wound. But truth is a strange kind of mercy. It breaks you first, then sets you free. Light broke through the clouds. The lake shimmered, fade to black. To love without control is the hardest lesson of all. To protect others, you must first conquer yourself. Moral. Love twisted by obsession becomes betrayal. Love purified by truth becomes redemption.